Today is an exciting day. I'll tell you why. I'm not just going to paint minis anymore. I'm going to make them. So here's the plan, guys. I've decided that, enough is enough. I already have, plenty of board games and stuff like that, and tons that, I have to paint, and I'm probably never going to have enough time to paint them all anyway. We're looking at some of the old school games. I got some buddies that still want to play things like, Rifts and D&D, and, buying all these little minis, and, looking at the quality of these little miniatures. It's not bad, but I think for this kind of quality, I could probably at least make that. And, they're not expensive, but it adds up. Even if it's $5 per mini, or $5 for two, how much does it cost to actually just make it yourself? So, you know what? I think that's what we're gonna do. It's all in this nice big box up here, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to fit it up here because I don't know where I'm gonna install this thing. In this here box, we've got an Ender 3 Pro 3D printer. I'm very excited. So we're gonna set this thing up. I said, you know what, for the cost of it now, why not? Let's give it a shot. What do I have to lose? A few $100? I'm sure it'll come in handy for many other things too, but for now, let's see about maybe making some minis. So here we are, guys. We've got it all up on the table so we can take a look at this. Oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. Oh yeah, I got something else too. I'm hoping that I've got the right stuff, but got myself 1.31 kilograms of 3D printer filament, right? It's funny, they had different colors and everything, and it all seemed the same. It's all 175, it's all the same size, same everything. I don't know what the difference is. If there is a difference, like, is black, tougher or more durable than blue, or, these are things I haven't really investigated yet. This was the least expensive. Look at that, shrink wrapped and everything. PLA A grade, 1.75, 1 kilogram of printer filament. That's all. Hopefully I got the right stuff. Guess we'll see when we open this up. Well package these to protect them, so far that looks like the way it is. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's the size of the table. I think it's probably gonna fit where I want to put it. All right. For the order. Instructions for assembly. There's a lot of things I don't read the instructions for. I might take a glance at this one. I definitely want to make sure I set this up properly. I don't want to damage anything or do something stupid. And this is the instructions for assembly right here. It seems weird the way they. Oh, I see. Okay, it folds out. That seems simple enough. Step 5, okay, I'm over here. List 1, there's all the parts. Step 1. Now, there's one thing that still kind of bothers me. I don't know what it is and why But with instructions nowadays, it's not like the way it used to be. It used to have clear, concise literature on what to do, alongside of some pictures. Now they just show you pictures. They don't really give you a whole lot of written instructions. You're just supposed to just look at it and go, I think this goes here according to this picture. Like, what happened? Did we stop? We don't know how to write the instructions anymore? We don't know how to type something and kind of throw it in the box? I don't know. I would never understand that. But it seems like to me a lot of that stuff's like that nowadays. Whatever. Some assembly may be required. There's our display. Alright, okay. Right along then. Trying to be gentle. Oh, we're attached down there. Okay. Jeez, this is scary. Okay, there we go. With the magnetic pad, it's supposed to put it on the pad, and then instead of having to scrape it off, the pad actually then is just removable, and you can bend it and it just pops off. So I've seen a lot of videos actually on this Ender 3 or Ender 3 Pro, but I haven't seen a whole lot for assembly, so maybe there is. Maybe I should watch it.
So what kind of got me into thinking about this idea really came from another channel with a guy from 3D Printed Tabletop. Fantastic channel, check that out. The guy's very knowledgeable, does great stuff, and this is where I got some of the settings to be able to hopefully do the minis that I want to be able to produce.
Alright, securing the second post. Did I put this the right way? I did. It's universal.
So while I'm building this, there's a few things I'd like to go over. Now, first of all, I basically built this without watching any videos on how to. I also built it with all the tools that was provided with the kit, to show that basically any basic person out there can buy one of these Ender 3 Pros and put it together and have a functional 3D printer in the end. And that's exactly what I did. Now, what I have learned after the fact is there is a lot of things to tweak, change, as well as even the filament to really get the minis produced that I'd like to have with the quality that I'd like to have that's at least worthy of painting in setting up for a game. In a future episode, I'm going to go over some of the upgrades that I do, also the filament that I actually choose to do a much better job at producing decent minis. While I'm at it too, another channel that you definitely have to check out that you can learn lots of information, and he's got some very interesting things that he does, is at 3D Printing Nerd. Fantastic channel, check that out too. I've learned a lot about 3D printing and more just from that channel alone as well. So while they're still shooting about building this thing here, let's take a look at some of the minis that I actually did produce with this. Now this is using that standard PLA that I bought, and again I said some of the cheapest stuff. And you can see they did come with a bit of detail, you know, but a couple of problems. Detail's still not really as good as I'd like it to be. The other thing too is that this particular PLA is also very brittle. It snaps very easily. Doing larger items, like I made a few other things like a dice tower and some, you know, just stuff off of Thingiverse. You know, okay, right? But to do this kind of fine detail, small little characters, it's just not enough. And the other thing is what I mentioned earlier as well. A few things that I did need to upgrade, I believe, in order to get a little bit more consistency and quality with the prints. And the other big thing, because I didn't change any settings and the settings work fine, and that's just the quality of the PLA that you're using. You want to go for a good quality PLA plus, something from 3D Fuel or, you know, one of these other larger companies. It's going to cost more money, but it is a tremendous difference in quality and in strength. So that is a definite for sure that you have to do. Don't buy the cheap stuff unless you're just going to make, you know, simple things. Alright, so here she is in all its glory. So, the only thing I haven't figured out yet is this stuff, because the instructions doesn't really tell me anything about that stuff, but it tells me about how to hook up all the wires. You know, the one for the control board, and then this wire already was connected. And then there's the limit switch down there, and there's these things up here, right, which all split off to that one thing. So, oh yeah, and then there's this guy down here and the power. I think I've got it all. Should I plug it in? I've got the power. I've got the power. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Huh. Oh, done again. You know, like it's being sent to Canada, and over here, I don't know if we could see this, right in, anyway, in there, in that little hole,
there is a switch to switch the power supply from European, like up to 240 volt, to American or Canadian standards of 115. So that's why there's no power. Anyway, here goes. We have action. A little fan running. Hey. Everything's moving. Well, looks like I got all the wires connected properly. So that's home. I guess that's it for today. We've got this thing powered up, and it's made it home. It's ready to go. Got a few other things. I got some, obviously, some zip ties to get these wires kind of out of the way so they don't get damaged. And I got to get my filament roll up top there, get that ready to go. But most of all, there's a thing online where I can download all of the parameters so that this thing's going to print properly for the minis that I want. So we'll see if we cannot print something. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget, we do have that competition still going. We need more subscribers, so hit the subscribe button. If there's any comments, any questions, throw them in the comment section. Obviously, I'll look into it, find out more about it. Got to do some research myself yet, but I'm pretty excited about making some minis. The only other thing, when it came to the wires, I didn't go too much into that. It was pretty simple. I just hooked them up because, you know, it tells you right in the instructions, you know, that you know, X goes here, Y goes there, you know, so that's some simple stuff. But a few steps I definitely would have. When it comes to putting the belt in here, I would have put that belt on first and then put the tensioner on, where the instructions actually tell you to put the tensioner on first over here. See, so this is step 7, and it says to put the tensioner on. And then over in step 8, it says now to put the belt on. That should be the other way around, right? It was a lot easier to put that belt on and not feel like I'm going to break it when I had this removed first and put the belt on, brought everything around, then slip this in, bolt it into place, put the tension under it, and then everything worked great. You know, so little things like that. Otherwise, it's just a matter of taking your time, following your pictorial explanation, you know, and it's actually pretty easy to put together. And so far, everything seems to be running like it's supposed to be. It did everything like it's supposed to be, as far as I understand. The next test will be to get this hooked up here, right to getting some filament. A roll up here, and we'll get something on the bed to print. Maybe something like this. So, until next time, guys, we'll catch you then.